Hey everybody, welcome back. 5 out of 5 with Cherisa Jerez. It's what you've all been waiting for. We're gonna go a little off script on this one. I'm gonna save it, and it's gonna pop in, and she doesn't even know it yet. Um, Cherisa, thanks for being here. We're jazzed that you've stuck with it, and I promise you, the network's gonna help you. We're gonna send you some positive energy. That's what you've been asking for through all of this, and we're gonna help lift you up.
So I think one of the most important things is Leaders Lead is this amazing podcast, Zach, that you've started, and I'm so excited to be on it, and so
That's an
excited to.
overstatement, but thank you.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what you're doing for the community, for helping to support veterans, for women, for Latinas, for all of us. I mean, I just think it's incredible. So thank you for this opportunity to represent on multiple levels.
Wow, that's fantastic. Say thanks for all your service to this great nation, as a active dutyist, as a reservist, as a spouse, a mother of picking up and moving. That's the hardest part. We've talked about it in all the other episodes. So just want to say thanks to everyone listening. I think that's often, I've shared this on the other ones, often the role that is least talked about, and often most overlooked is the role that the spouse plays, and that's the role that I think we just need to acknowledge and lift up. So you've played them all. So Cherisa, thank you, and I just want to make sure that you hear us say that, and I think you've heard me say it multiple times now. So um, thanks.
That's my honor, Zach. It really
Y-
is.
Yeah. Um, so I told you we're gonna go off script.
You did.
I did. Um, and so before we go into the fifth question, I know that you're working on something a little secret. And before we do that, I want people to know that you and I used to work together at Smith's Medical, and I can just absolutely vouch for your background. You did amazing things there. As everyone was pulling out of the workforce and working remote, you led a team that was like rushing in to make sure that you put products into doctors' hands, and I couldn't be more proud of that. And you did a great job with it. So um, now I want to talk about what's the super secret squirrel project you got going on, because I think it's awesome, and I know about this much of it, and I want to know like this much of it.
Oh
So
wow.
what can you share, and
I
then
can,
we'll ask.
yeah, I can share some good stuff. So, after a lifelong love of reading and literature, I have been an avid reader. I was a spelling bee champion. I mean, like classic English nerd as a kid,
That's like the exact
quintessential.
opposite of me.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Not a reader. Well,
I'm
I was
starting to become
obsessed.
one,
Well,
and I
good,
use
good.
spell check and like 4 other programs to like go through everything I do, and it's still wrong.
Yeah, no, it called me very, very young. So I have always dreamed of being a writer, and I self-published a few books. Very early on, I have a book titled "For Those Left Behind," and it's for military spouses and service members, families, whether it's their kids, their parents. But I wrote it during wartime, and it was a self-help guide for those managing a deployment. So I had dabbled with, you know, can I put a book together from start to finish? And I was excited that I could. And for those left behind was a labor of love for the military community. But this year, I am very excited to announce that my debut novel, Isla Magic, is I actually got an agent's representation, Miss Katie Reed from the Andrea Hearst Literary Agency in March of this year. And the week before last, we went on submission. So that means that the book's being marketed across the big publishing houses. And it's been a strong start. That's really like all I could say about that for right now, but it's been a very strong start and I'm super excited. And so to tell you a little bit about Isla Magic, because it's two of my some of my favorite things. It's the story is about a female veteran who goes to Iraq, and she's a medic and she's a healer, and she returns from that experience very traumatized, and she comes back a hero, but she doesn't feel like one. So she returns to Puerto Rico after 12 years away as a single mom with her young son, and has to navigate the challenges of going home and a multi-generational household and 12 years of distance. And yet, when she gets there, she meets Eli Montgomery, a U.S. Army vet from Charleston, South Carolina, who's running a bar and grill on the beach. And he's also given up quite a bit in the name of duty and war and for the love of his country. And so they, through their friendship and the island's magic, it's really her journey of healing from her experiences. So I call it Isla Magic, and I'm very, very excited to be sharing that with the world soon.
Oh man. Well, when it becomes a printed copy, I need um 4 copies signed, one for
Uh,
my daughter, um, for both of my daughters, excuse me, for my wife and for my mother-in-law. And so I probably have a full list. I'll get you a list of everyone else outside of that I need copies for. I can't wait to buy it from you to help. We got to have you back then, right? And talk about it, and you can show it and all
yeah,
this. But so that was my off the script. I'm super excited about it. I did know a little bit about it. Um, Super
thank,
proud of you. I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people, and just what you shared is probably like that sounds like a movie type thing that people would get behind, and um, that's awesome. All right, well, congratulations on the big news there. We'll keep sending you positive thoughts on that.
thank
Um,
you so much.
yeah, you're welcome. We're gonna go to question number 5
Okay,
out of 5
all right.
on this. So, your military service is a major in the Army Reserve, a significant aspect of your career and who you are. How has your military experience shaped your leadership style? And are there specific leadership principles or values from your leadership service that you find particularly valuable in the business world?
Oh my goodness. And you sure we only have a few minutes? So, um,
Well,
I have to say, I am forever grateful for the US military, for the leader that it made me. Before I joined the Army, I worked as an accounting manager at a jewelry store, and I didn't have any direct reports. I had never led other people. I didn't even understand um, non direct influence as a leader. And so joining the Army, they really worked with raw, raw, inexperienced, untapped. I mean, they could mold me into whatever they wanted, and I think they did okay. You're right. I think I came out of okay with those principles. So, what did the Army do for me? I think fundamentally, um, it's this confidence that is really hammered into, especially as an officer. And I will say some of the best people in the military that I worked with were the enlisted and the non-commissioned officers. They really were the ones that taught me how to be an officer. So go figure. But um, we are required in order to ensure maximum effectiveness as leaders. We are required to have that command presence, because that's the I think the first foundational element of establishing trust, right? Is can you command yourself in a room, your presence, your posture, your vocabulary? If you can take control of that, then I can possibly trust you with more, with us, with our lives. So I think in terms of confidence, communication, being able to walk into a room and for people to feel that somebody who might be in charge just walked in. Those are things that the military gave me on I can't say on the outside because that comes from something on the inside that manifests itself on the outside. Um, and I think just inside my own sense of self as a woman, as a leader, that was one of the biggest fundamental changes. The other thing that I shared with someone a couple days ago, we're in the middle of closing a very large deal, and tensions were high, and personalities were all over the place, and some people were just, getting very frantic. And someone said to me, Cherisa, you're very calm, and we realized that you're really nice and you're really sweet. And I was like, let me just correct you for a moment, because I am nice. I mean, I am, and I am kind, but that is not what's driving my calm, managed, approach on this. I am military trained to keep a level head amidst, you know erratic conditions, and I am military trained to not lose my what when things around us are getting crazy. So, and I'm military trained to control my tongue when I'm on a national podcast now. But so I think
You're better than me.
yeah, I'm doing my best, especially at this hour. I tend to get a anyway. So I think that what my teams have been able to count on me through the years is that when the tensions get high, when the circumstances around us are starting to seem unfathomable, when people can't find a way through, they can count on me as a leader to always keep a level head and to stay focused on the facts, the inputs, the outputs, and continue to problem solve and to continue to ask right questions and engage the right people so that we can find a path through, even when you know it's erratic around us. So I say that comes from the United States Army, and I'm so incredibly thankful, because I don't think I would have learned this to this extent any other way. I mean, the circumstances are just incomparable where we have to keep our heads versus any other environment. So,
Yeah, I think that that's a really good summary. Um, from my own personal experience, that we've been blessed, for right, wrong, or indifferent, to be battle tested under stress, right? And it's often, I often find that the things that get under my skin, we'll call it, everyone has those moments, are the
sure.
things where people are like, why does that bother you? And like, they're like, that rattled you? And I'm like, right? But when the going gets really tough and everyone else is rattled, I'm like, cool as can be. And it's because those high tension moments where we're like, I got you.
Yeah,
And I I feel that you may have a similar demeanor in those moments. Um, I was 17 when I went through basic training. I joined between my junior and senior year of high school, and um,
oh wow.
they're like, dude, you're it. You're the young guy. You're like, you're the lead. I'm like, no. Like, they fired the dude that was like like in charge for a little bit, and they're like, no, he can't do it. You're it. I'm like, I'm like, there's like dudes like 35 in here. They're not gonna listen to me. So, um, yeah, that's how it all started with for me, of like learning how to deal with people, was in the military, and I'm forever grateful for it, for the leadership stuff, and I learned a lot of the what not to do, um,
Yeah,
and I'm thankful for that too, because thank God I had rank at the time, because um in the civilian world, that man, that would have been bad. To show a little humility, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody who's watching. Um, anyway, we all grow, we all improve, we all grow up,
Right.
and we all mature. So we're not perfect, but hey, Cherisa, I just want to thank you for being the guest for these 5 episodes of Leaders Lead. For these 5 questions, your answers are awesome. Your the interaction, I feel, has just been fantastic. Um,
Fantastic.
I'm thrilled to have you as a guest and have you on the cutting edge of this. And for those of you that are watching, thanks for sticking with us. Please let us know what you like. If you have a recommendation of a guest that you'd like to see on it, let us know. Shariza, the same goes with you. But first and foremost, before we leave, gotta know, what can we do to help you? What can we do to lift you up? How can we as a community support you? In case people have missed the first 4 episodes, what can this community do to support you?
Yeah, so I would say after the big reveal, once that book's on the shelves, I will definitely come a calling and will ask for everyone's continued support. But even more importantly, for me, it's the camaraderie and the energy and the good thoughts that, as we lift each other up. So I'm very struck by your intention behind this is to lift each other up. And I think that that happens just through the collective engagement of people that are watching, and just send a good thought. It's definitely, there will be a moment in my day that I'm going to need it, and I know that I'll be able to tap into that energy. And obviously, with Ashire Tech, we are a new growing company. We are about 45 minutes from the Space Coast, and we're proven in the simulators industry. We've worked extensively on cybersecurity controls, administrative controls, plan of action and milestones, developing those POAMs for federal information systems. So, we are believers of excellence. If we can help support you, not just in the government sector, but also in the commercial sector, we would love the opportunity to help partner with organizations that need that expertise, whether it's in cyber, in operations, in supply chain, inventory management. I had a wonderful conversation the other night at a gala while I was sipping champagne about supplier owned and managed inventory. And I couldn't believe how I managed to get into that conversation. But I realize that the needs are big out there for companies that want to manage their money and their cash flow. So any
Yeah.
way that we can help you, www.ashiretech.com.
Shariza, I wish you the absolute best. I wish good things for you, your family, and your company. I can feel it. This book sounds like it's a hit already. I
Thank
can't wait to get multiple copies of it for people that I want to hand it out to. And um, I wish you all the best. You know my number. You know how to get a hold of me. Anything I can do to help you, support you, and lift you up, I'm a huge fan. Um,
thank
thanks
you.
for thanks for once again for being an early adopter and being on this. For everybody who stuck with this for this episode of Leaders Lead, we've concluded question number 5 of 5. It's been, this one's been super fun. Cherisa Jerez, we're just thrilled to have you here. And this concludes Leaders Lead 5 of 5 with Cherisa Jerez. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to introducing you to our next guest. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.